Hi Libra, thank you for coming. Libra, and also I've just seen a very large dog in the field over there that I've never seen before, so that's going to be our symbol. I thought it was a wolf to start with, but it looks like a sort of someone's. It's very wolf-like to be there, but I'm going to name it until I've corroborated otherwise. I'm pretty sure I would know a wolf. It looked very like a domesticated dog, but maybe a mix, I don't know. So that's going to be our symbol that goes with Libra. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. So, thank you for coming to the channel. My name is Philippa. Let's dive straight in. So, the inner life of Libra and dog. Or wolf. And if I've seen a wolf, that would be bloody exciting. The inner life. The inner life. I'm keeping my voice down because, oh, there we go. 9 of Cups. Oh, he's having a shower. I can hear Javon. And how this making you act on the exterior. So 9 of Cups crossed by the 9 of Pentacles, 2 nines. And in the basis of the situation, we have the 3 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Curious. I tell you why it's curious, because I saw a silly Instagram post just before I came out, which was talking about if you're seeing this before the 9th of the 9th. Anyway, it's an incredibly lucky day of completions, and I was thinking, oh, 9's completions, I suppose it's nearly at the 10. Anyway, 3 9s, 999. In England, that's the emergency number. In the recent past, the Magician and a potential outcome. King of Wands, nice energy. And something for the near future, please. The Chariot, Fast and Furious. And your attitude. Page of Swords. Oh, no, don't get wet. And in your environment, so that's the dog up there now. I can see him just going over the brow of the hill. Got a funny feeling in my ear. Just popping over there. So, in your environment, the Hermit, the Queen of Pentacles, the Devil, and Temperance. Gosh, that's a lot of energy to deal with. And your hopes and fears. The Fool. Gosh. So maybe it is a time of completion. You're wanting your new start. And an outcome, please. 7 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. So we've got 6 more cards than we should have. So we've got 16 here, and we've got 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 majors. 6 majors. So quite a lot of majors. It's very quiet here today. We've had a day of crazy storms, and down on the coast there's been, which is about an hour from here, or an hour and a half, there's been a tornado that's kind of ripped up part of the a shack on a little sort of retirement beach that's quite sweet, and just endless storms, which apparently is very usual for this time of year, and I'm kind of exhausted from the excitement of it all. I nearly got seriously involved in a storm yesterday. I won't go into it, but I was being a bit rash, let's put it that way, and then I was all kind of lighteninged up. So I feel this energy, I relate to it, because this is quite a lot. There's 2 of the fastest cards, possibly the 2 fastest cards in the pack are here, the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. And we've got these 3 9s and the major 9 of the Hermit. And I've got quite a lot of court cards. The Devil, who's very sort of obsessive, and his minor, that's the 10 of Wands. The Magician and the King of Wands are very similar, but it's all very, yeah, it's quite rich and excitable. It's almost like lightning, if you know what I mean. I wonder if I turn around, sometimes it focuses on the beautiful sky. I wonder whether you can see that. Anyway, let's dive in. So we've got you as your interior world, wish fulfillment. There's something really lovely happening here with the 9 of Cups. He's got a little red everything going on his nose and his little red stockings, and he looks like a Cossack dancer. And these cups are very up high here. It's like a sort of ideal, I'm wanting to say, of his dream. And his red hat indicating kind of a lot of mental energy. But so it's a time of wish fulfillment internally. I think you feel really happy about something. People who are turning up to this, Libra and I want to say wolf, but I'm sure it's a dog. So a very jolly start. There is a sort of slight caveat to that there's a kind of, it is wish fulfillment, but there's a kind of air of intoxication to him. And that energy I was talking about with the lightning, sometimes when we're really creatively driven and excited, and he's so in love with something that's coming to him, it can feel a little bit giddy. And I wonder whether that's happening to you. But the way it's making you act in the external world is the 9 of Pentacles. She's tamed that falcon. She's got everything that she wants around her in her garden. She's resplendent. She's worked really hard at something. She's become a kind of artisan in something. Her little snail right at the bottom. And these funny loops around the top of her head, and a rose in her ear. A rose, what would that mean? A rose in your ear and your hairline. I sort of want to say, those kind of paths of following the kind of sacred rose, divine femininity. The rose is like the heart, isn't it? And she's sort of learnt that lesson. So that's lovely. And again, a touch of red on top of her hair or her hat, and on top of the falcon that she's got. So the first 2 9s are absolutely lovely, and as I said, I just heard that funny little snippet, and to be honest, I just kicked off it. I was like, 9 9. Oh, we've got 8 8, and now we've got 9 9. And maybe there's something in it. Maybe I need to go dig back and see what that video is about, because it said, listen to this, because, oh, that was it. The one line I caught, and so this will be important for you, for us in this collective, is to imagine the future as if it's already happened now. Because with this 9 9, God, now I really want to find the video. With this 9 9, you need to imagine the future as if it's already happened. Your wish as if it's already been achieved, as if you've already got it. Now that is really, really relevant, because we've got the wish fulfillment card here, and then this woman who's so pleased with her standing and has achieved so much. So I think that message is what's supposed to be coming through. Imagine what your wish as if it's already achieved. And what I thought when I heard that, before I clicked off and kind of rushed down here because I wanted to make this video, I can see the dog wolf. I think he is going back to he must belong to the farm over there. He's standing looking at me. He's definitely domesticated. The thrill if he was a wolf. But what I thought when I heard that was, am I sure about what my wish is? So I wonder whether you relate. I always think one wish, that's the first thing, and then am I sure? And that's a bit of a failing in my thought process, because you need to know what you want, because what I observe about myself is when I really want something, I always get it, when I know what I want. And I wonder whether anyone relates to that, because I'm sort of unstoppable, which I believe lots of people are when I know what I want. But quite often I get into that Seven of Cupsy mode of second guessing myself, or kind of wondering whether, be careful what you wish for, all of those kind of ideas. I wonder whether any of that, whether you relate to any of that. However, if we just look at these cards, it's a time of wish fulfillment and feeling very artistically and materially realized for you. So that's absolutely wonderful. In the basis of the situation, we've got the third 9, and in England 999 is an emergency number. So, I can't ignore that. But we actually have the 4 with the Mage, and a 9 as well of the Hermit. Where's he gone? We had the Hermit. Oh yeah, there he is. I'm staring right at him. How funny. I was too beguiled by the devil who was with him in your environment. So the first thing I'm saying when I see those 2 cards in the basis of your reading is 13. 10 and 3 equals 13. And I don't normally do that. So I wonder, 13, a sort of lucky number, a lucky number for witches, a lucky number that we've been told is unlucky. We have Friday the 13th coming up, I know, because it's one of my lovely godchildren's birth party on that day. So we've got a Friday the 13th coming up straight after this 9/9 portal, who knew? So is there something that you've got to try and initiate or start on that day? I mean, are you going to be at a party on that day too? Because, and feeling a little bit defensive at a party? The basis of the reading, if I just look at these 2 cards, is you at a stage, because you're on a little stage. See all my previous readings, because I'm always banging on about this stage. Do you see this double line here? So at a stage, you're perceiving yourself, or temporarily feeling a little bit defensive and beleaguered. And you're looking at those 3 who are celebrating the community, the coven, the Norns or the witches or the party. But I can't help seeing them as a kind of coven, really, because I see 13 in those 2 numbers. So is there some sense in which you're feeling a little bit defensive around the idea of magical manifesting? Is it what I'm talking about when I hear 9/9? Okay, imagine your wish as if it was really true. Do you have a similar thing where you feel like you've manifested something in the past and you've been slightly bitten by it? I certainly had that experience as a young girl. I feel like I kind of manifested my first true love, and he's a wonderful man, but he was so he was so huge in my life that, in a way, he was just what I imagined. I used to lie there dreaming of all these qualities that he was going to have. The dog's still in the field, and dog loyalty, a companion, a past companion, because my dog's just died. That's what it's making me think. But anyway, yeah. So I manifested this true love when I was very young, and I was incredibly good at making happen what I wanted to have happen. And then it over a few years, it became basically quite because of the dynamic between us. There were many aspects to my life that were slightly sort of curtailed because of him being there, without going into details. And so I think I kind of internalized this sense of, oh, it's a bit dangerous to manifest, because you could get what you want, but be careful what you wish for. And I think, oh, he's rolling now. Oh, it's so sweet. He's rolling. He's all happy. He's probably rolling in some sort of scat or dung or something. And someone's going to be shouting at him later. But, is there a sense in which what you want is to manifest some sort of community, or you want to use that witchy power, but you're a bit nervous? I think that's what it's about. You're a bit nervous about using it. Either like me, you're not quite sure what you want to manifest. You've got some idea, but you're a bit defensive about it. And in the recent past, the magician, so talk about manifesting. You have been manifesting in the recent past. So why are you nervous about it? It's interesting. What am I seeing here? Because, trust it. Trust that someone wise once said to me when I talked about worrying about manifesting things and then ending up with the consequences of that. This wonderful woman who was a great light in my life for many years said, but if you discover that your manifestation isn't right, just manifest something else. Undo it and start again. And that's completely correct. Just watching the dog to see whether he has any. He's really rolling. If he is a domesticated dog, which he looks like, I'm telling you, having been a dog owner, I don't know if any of you are, that someone is going to be pretty pissed off if he's coming back smelling of something and he looks like he's really rolling in something quite rank, when they do the shoulder. He's very pleased with himself. Totally unattended. Who's going to stop him? But yeah, so she looks like a woman. It's the magician, but she looks like a she to me today, and I'm really seeing the 8. Maybe you manifested of the infinity symbol above her today, head. I wonder whether you did some serious manifesting on the 8th of the 8th, and maybe it's starting to come true for you, and now you've got that kind of nervous feeling that, what if that's not what I'm meant to have? Should I have ordered up something better? It's a bit like I just went to get some new glasses with my boyfriend who's got a day off, and we got some recently from this amazing optician in a local town, and I can never get the right glasses because I have an astigmatism, which means one eye doesn't really communicate to the brain. But they were like magic glasses because I could finally see, endlessly I buy glasses and then just discard them unless they're just, plus ones or twos. He's still rolling. He's really enjoying himself. But this optician got me the perfect pair of glasses and I couldn't believe it. And, a few months later I lost them. On the way back from quite a sort of overstimulating trip to the weekend, a long weekend, I went on a little pilgrimage walk and I dropped them. I think it's where I've dropped them. So anyway, we went back to get the new glasses, and my poor boyfriend, who's incredibly tired, he works so hard at this time of year, it's coming to the end of his season, was sort of sat there translating, because although I understand Italian, I wanted to make sure I understood, obviously, if I'm buying glasses. And when I came out, I was all sort of, we've ordered the glasses and I'm sure they'll be perfect. But I've almost decided that the first pair, the ones I've lost, were the magic glasses, and nothing can replace those. And what if, I was saying to him, but what if the reason that they were so good was because the last optician, who wasn't this guy, it was the same place, but the older guy, what if it was because he was about to take a break and he did my test hurriedly last time, and what if that was the magic formula? And I was driving my poor boyfriend mad. He was like, please shut up. And then I was like, what if actually, did you make sure that it's just for reading, because I don't like using them on the screen? And I kept going on and on. Dog Wolf is walking towards us now, not quite towards us. And it was that second guessing something that I'd ordered, something that was going to clarify my vision. Are you doing that? Is there an element of you've ordered something and it could be really good and you're wondering whether your sight, so I was ordering, about what the depth of field, how far away I wanted to be able to see. I just want books. I was worried that maybe it was going to be to do with the screen as well. Are you similarly worried that you've been looking at a shorter term goal, a closer goal, when actually what you want is something that's more far reaching? Do you get what I mean? Like that metaphor of you've got your eye on something that's in the nearer but should you not be aiming for something else? Although out of a book and a screen, I know you're watching this on the screen, but out of a book and a screen, there's something sort of really wonderful about a book, and old-fashioned and kind of calming to the nervous system. Anyway, I'm getting taken away by that metaphor. And then, oh, if I just put this in the water, oh God, I've dampened the King of Swords. That's really silly. Check I'm not doing that with all the others. So the dog's walking this way, but at the edge of the field. So, King of Swords, King of Wands, who's looking away from us. This is your potential outcome. So I'm losing sight of the dog. I'm just watching where he's going. Your potential outcome is, you know, eyes on the prize. Oh, shit. Actually, I think I am. It's so damp here. No, it's okay. Eyes on the prize. Going for whatever it is. This is you saying, no, sort of, I've started that manifestation period with the Magician, and now I'm following through. I'm going into my kingly energy. I will grasp this and make of it what I want, and own it and be selfish around it and really enjoy it. So I'm pleased to see that in your potential outcome. But then when we get to your environment and your hopes and fears, something slightly different happens. So in the near future, the Chariot, which I think is you sort of rushing off to start trying to achieve this aim along, you know, splitting your laser beam somewhat because you probably have other responsibilities, but kind of going with this marvelous manifestation, setting off on this new quest. 7. Have we got any other 7s? Yeah, we got a 7 of Pentacles in your actual outcome. So you're about to launch this rocket, I feel. You're launching a rocket of desire, and that's really exciting, and it's a very kind of yangy energy. I love it for you. And in your attitude, we see you strategizing and thinking about how to achieve your aim. You know, it's young energy, so you're probably not that used to whatever this thing is that you're initiating, but you're trying to work with it. Yeah, she looks so determined today in that flock of birds. You're working with it, trying to get your head up above the clouds, work out the new details, make sure you've got everything. You know, she is somebody, God, talk about know what you want. The Page of Swords is 100% sure. She doesn't second guess herself. So that's great. You're not second guessing yourself. There's a sort of, maybe you're ignoring that part of you that has been a little bit battered by your manifestations in the past, and you're just going with it. You've got that kind of teenage energy, a bit like my teenage energy that manifested that great love. And it's sort of not thinking about anything that could go wrong, and it's demanding of the universe. But now, when we get to your environment, this is a very complicated energy. We've got the wisdom of the hermit. I need to work this out a bit. We've got 3 majors. The wisdom of the hermit, finding your path slowly, step by step. So your true path. The Queen of Pentacles, who's valued very highly and looks after everyone, but she's paid properly, and she's very... So are you trying to find your path? Oh, and off he goes, the dog. Are you trying to find your path to being fairly paid and appreciated properly in this new endeavour? Just watching the dog / wolf. Oh, if only. He looked round when I said wolf. Where's he going now? He's got to the end of the path. Is he going to turn left or right? Left. So he's not going to the farm. He's going into the woods. Interesting. There's a fork in the road, and he's picked the what do they talk about, the path least travelled, or the, you know what that metaphor, Lawrence van der Post. It's a poem, or is it a famous? I'll look it up. There's a famous poem about taking the least travelled, the least travelled path. So that's relevant to our hermit. So he's trying to find his true path, to being properly valued, to really loving his environment. And it's his true path was something he's truly passionate about. I'm going to cover most of the devil, but he's there. So his true path was something he's truly passionate about. So perhaps because this new start is so sort of passionate and overwhelming, like I was saying, maybe there's a sense in which you're finding the energy, like that Nine of Wands, a little bit much, because the major nine of the Hermit is turning up to sort of temper all of that energy. He's trying to work with all that passion, because it's probably quite a lot, like a sort of lightning voltage going through your system. Yeah, and temperance, that's exactly it. So I think it's passionate and you need to extract all the worth from it, by which I mean, you know, like monetary value, but also all the sustenance that the Queen of Pentacles would take. And so your path is to try and temper, it's the 14 to the 15. So you need temperance. I read this the other day. You need temperance in order to, the temperance which comes before the devil, and we've got both of them, but she's sort of behind the devil here. You need to have learnt temperance as lessons of kind of wisdom and temperance, you know, waiting for that alchemical moment in order to deal with the passion of the devil, with the sort of force of the devil. You need temperance, and you've got this here. So actually your environment is very good. I feel like you're aware of all of these themes. So amazing. And in your hopes and fears, you just want this incredible new start, and you're ready for it. And you know, you've launched the rocket of desire with the Magician, and now you're waiting. There's so much yellow energy here of optimism, and it looks like a woman again, this lovely fool, and his pinwheel design on his coat, which is all the greens and yellows and reds, and he's got everything he needs in his little knapsack, and he's off. And he looks quite confident today, like even more so than normal. I don't know if that's relevant, it must be. And then in the outcome, we have another 7. So we had the 7 of chariots setting off on your quest, and now we've got the 7 of patience and keep going. Okay, there's sort of new things to learn, and don't give up on this dream now. You've launched it. With the Knight of Swords, that's saying, you know, keep working, and it's not going to feel slow. In addition to keep working, it's going to feel very, very fast, and potentially like that devil, because you're going to feel quite burdened by all these new exciting aspects to this wish. But we know you've got the temperance, and we know you've got the hermit looking after this. They kind of hold you together. So take a punt. That's what we say when we see him. He rushes in to take a punt, and he's 70-30% likely to be successful. Light's fading. So that's lovely. Let's cap this quickly before the light completely goes. And we're going to do a card from the Enchanted Forest Tarot, which got a bit wet recently in the thunderstorm episode, because I'm like a child. And I sat here until the thought storm was above us and literally nearly got hit by lightning. Oh, I'm doing them back to front. Who's that wants to come out? 10 of challenges. No, he wasn't quite out, and I was doing them back to front. We're not taking him. So, and they're quite sticky now because they've got all, so annoying, they've got all wet and not dried out. Dog wolf. I think the reason I'm seeing him as a dog wolf is that it's sort of like your wild, tame nature. I wonder whether you relate to that. It's like a sort of mixture of the wolf and the fox from the moon card, but it's like or a tamed aspect of yourself that's become free because he's wandering around like that. Right, so to add to this, we have the 9 of challenges, which is that 9 of wands, I think. Or is it 9 of swords? I think it's the 9 of swords. Why is he turning up? It's quite a scary space. I didn't really ask my question properly, but I think we're okay. So, oh, something in my ear again. 9 of challenges. Fear, nightmare, helplessness, the dark night of the soul. Lost in the woods, the boy tucks himself as tightly as he can among the tree roots and prays he will be safe until the morning. Everything he sees and hears is terrifying to him. He can't discern between what's real threat and what is merely unfamiliar. Okay, hold on to that because you're going into new territory. The shining eyes, the creeping feet, the tiny cries. Oh, he shouldn't have come into the woods at night. And do you remember the dog is heading into the woods? The wild, tame dog is heading into the woods, and maybe that tame part of you is going to find this path less travelled. That's it, the path less travelled, a little bit threatening when you're in your least conscious moment. There is nothing to be done now but wait for daylight. The hours until then crawl by as he trembles helplessly in his inadequate refuge. This card isn't really about danger, it's about fear. It's about the middle of the night terrors when you are helpless to do anything but worry. At such vulnerable times, your fears can start to multiply faster than you can swat them away. The scariest thing in the night forest is the inability to move safely, not knowing what's nearby. Okay, so if you're manifesting new things, you don't quite know what's nearby, like the hermit who's just going by that tiny light that only lets him see what's at his feet. You may be feeling fearful because you are unprepared and ill-equipped to handle your challenges. Face reality during the day so you don't need to flee from it at night. There are 9 fears shown in the card. Bats, shining eyes, a looming tree, a spooky moth, glistening ink cap mushroom, which is poisonous, woodley nightshade, very poisonous, a goblin, a devil's horse coach beetle, and an alarmingly large spider. There's also a mouse, squeaky but harmless. So the message from that to me is very clear. It's just saying, because we know in your environment you're sort of inching your way towards this new reality, it might feel a bit frightening, and try to think about it only at your most conscious daytime moments. Don't let that nighttime nightmarish vision that, oh God, I'm manifesting something that I shouldn't, come into your mind, because that won't help, obviously, and it will be unrealistic and negative. And then you kind of stay in that 9 of another 9. Gosh, that was another 9. Where's he gone? So that was another 9, the 9 of swords, the only 9 that we didn't have on the table. So the 9s really are important, this manifesting and this working past fear. And then the ace of stones, another ace to just to encourage you, and like the fool that you are, and like the magician, the one of the magician. What have we got here? Ace of stones, you need to focus on this amazing you. I'm going to not be able to read soon because it's getting dark, and I need to go back up to my lovely boyfriend, who actually is probably quite happy to have some time on his own today. Ace of stones. Okay, what a rocket to talk about rocket of desire. Look at that. Let's grab it before we, actually that works well for the, oh no, you can see me. Okay, funny glasses on again. He reaches for the sunlight, he shines for the children, he drinks from the earth. And the little meaning at the back: connecting many levels of life, anchoring yourself in ordinary things, creative power, long-lasting achievements, good economic situations, success, harmony between people, especially at work. It's the Ace of Pentacles, and I was doing a private reading for someone yesterday, or 2 days ago rather, and she got the Ace of Pentacles, and she was feeling upset about something else, and I said, but look, there's all these opportunities coming. And she texted me today just to tell me the unbelievable list of opportunities that, and payment and orders and amazing things that had happened for her. So I think this is just by way of encouragement. Don't go into the fears of all those negative nines. Stay remembering what you're headed towards. In many lands, in what is now predominantly Western Europe, we find the phenomenon of standing stones. Huge cylindrical rocks set upright, either alone or in circles such as Stonehenge, and sometimes carved and paved with sacred images. Modern researchers have put forward any number of theories about them, from territorial markings to astronomical computers to sundials to psychic batteries. Symbolically, they act like the world tree. They form a connecting line of vertical access from the underworld beneath our feet to the invisible world of the spirits above. This line passes through the horizontal world of ordinary existence. One of the symbolic meanings of this, and then they talk about the cross and bringing in the mystical into your day. It rests at the dark blue entrance to the underworld. The stone is dark at the bottom and then rises to the colours as the colours change until they meet the light of the sun. The sun shines from behind the clouds to indicate that this card signifies the winter solstice, the darkest moment of the year, when the movement shifts to ever-increasing light. All around the base we can see concentric arcs like those in the moon card. As mentioned, they resemble roundels in Aboriginal Dreamtime painting. They also suggest carvings found on standing stones in Ireland and Britain. Psychologically, if the underground is the unconscious, and remember that's where we get a bit frightened, then these arcs represent the wealth of visions and actions that pour from hidden sources in our being. In prehistoric Crete, people worshipped the goddess in caves found in Horn Mountains. We see such a cave in the upper left. The lines of energy flow out of the simple pile of stones and a pyramid. Humans may first have recognized the sacred in caves and mountains. At a certain point, they began to make their own creations. You can still find places where people pile up stones to evoke gods. When people acquired more complex building skills, they created pyramids to imitate mountains. Pyramids also signify the human mind's ability to abstract geometric form out of irregular shapes in nature. In India, people worship stones in a different way. A standing stone in a pool of water forms a lingam and a yoni, the phallus of Shiva and the vulva of Shakti. In other words, the creative power of male and female joined together. In this card, the erect shape of the stone suggests the phallus to many viewers. The female energy lines as the dark circles. I mean, to me, it's the Ace of Pentacles. And so keep your eye on the prize, because whatever your fears are going to be, there is a very lucrative new start coming here. And, just go for it. Don't get caught in these manifest. Just manifest. And remember that you can change your manifestation if it ends up not being exactly what you want. And don't second guess yourself. It's not worth it. There's someone, that's not my bell for dinner, but that's one of the neighbours' bells for dinner. So don't second guess yourself. It's not worth it. Ding, 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 ding. That's the underline. Just please go with what you're manifesting, and don't, and because there's so much lovely energy here, and you have got temperance there to be able to contain all this devilly energy. And also the devil has those two figures who are tied to him, and so because we know you've got temperance and you're under your belt, you're not going to be tied to anything you manifest. If it's wrong, you redo it, okay? But I think it's good because we've got the Ace of Stones, the Ace of Pentacles turning up, which is very abundant, new physical starts. How exciting. And you're taking potentially a bit of a left field path into the road less travelled. Don't get frightened there, because you're taking both your dog and your wolf, your wild and your tame side, which is quite exciting. And something about the dog rolling, I don't know, you've got the right pheromones, you've got the right smell, you're enjoying yourself, so just keep going. Thank you so much. That's such a lovely reading, and sorry the light's fading, and I look forward to seeing you again.